Steve Jobs was the co-founder, chief executive, and chairman of Apple Computers. When Steve Jobs was born, his biological parents had no choice but to put the baby up for adoption. He was soon adopted by his new parents. He dropped out of college in the first 6 months, and he was just 21 years old when he started Apple Computers with his friend Steve Wozniak in 1976. Together, they revolutionized the computer industry by making machines smaller, cheaper, and accessible to everyday customers. Apple Computers became a publicly traded company in 1980 with a market value of $1.2 billion on its first day of trading. Jobs resigned as Apple's CEO in 1985 to start a new software and hardware company called Next Inc. The next year, he bought an animation company from George Lucas. This company later became known as Pixar Animation Studios. Furthermore, Apple bought Next Inc. in 1997, and Steve returned as Apple CEO in the same year, putting Apple back on track with a new management team and altered stock options, as well as introducing new products such as the MacBook Air, iPhone, and iPod. Moreover, iTunes became the second biggest music retailer in America in 2008. The sales from iTunes and the iPod account for half of Apple's current revenue. Apple has been ranked number 1 on Fortune magazine's list of America's most admired companies. Steve Jobs' leadership and innovation has made Apple one of the world's leading companies. Here are some moments which show that Steve Jobs is a contingency leader. As we can see, Steve Jobs did well in Apple, but he did not do as well when he was in a different leadership position. In the 1980s, he bought the Pixar company and led the company towards the hardware industry. However, this brought a huge loss and terrible reputation for the company. Now that Pixar is under a different leadership, it is one of the top 3 computer animation film studios in the world. Therefore, we can conclude that Steve Jobs did well in leading the Apple company. However, under different circumstances, he does not do as well. This clearly shows that he applies the contingency theory of leadership, whereby he only excels in one certain industry and is unable to achieve the same amount of success in other industries. Steve upheld a strong and clear vision throughout his life. From the early ages of his life, he always knew that he wanted to do something big and something revolutionary in life. Where most people were busy collecting their pocket money, he occupied his mind with the thought of creating a big and successful company. He always knew what he wanted. This is the reason he became successful. Jack Ma, or Ma Yun, is the founder and executive chairman of the Alibaba Group. He is now officially a billionaire, the richest man in China, and as of 2020, the 17th richest man in the world. Jack Ma was born in Hangzhou, China, on September 10, 1964. When he was young, he would give foreigners tours for free just so he could improve his English. Ma failed his university entrance exam twice, scoring less than 1% in maths. He eventually passed and began studying English at the Hangzhou Teachers Institute. When KFC came to China, 24 people went for the job, and 23 were accepted. He was the only guy who wasn't. Furthermore, Jack Ma's applications were rejected by Harvard University 10 times. During his time as an English teacher in 1994, he started his translation business. He got to know about the internet when he was working in the US as a translator.
Jack, search whatever you want on the internet. I said, how can I search? What does search mean? He said, just type. I said, I don't want to type. Computer's so expensive in China, I don't want to destroy it. He said, it's not a bomb.
Then, he entered the phrase beer in China on the internet and found no results. He soon realized that there was no data about China on the internet. This then gave him a business idea. In 1999, after persuading 17 of his other friends to invest and join him, he finally founded Alibaba. Jack Ma is the prime example of a situational leader, as he exemplifies all the characteristics that they possess. He is highly capable of adaptability to change. He wanted to start selling directly to the consumer as an e-commerce firm in Alibaba. However, a fast-paced environment meant that he knew that his company would not be what he envisioned for initially. So, he changed the model in empowering small businesses to sell directly to their potential customers by providing them a platform through automation or technology. Jack Ma and Alibaba made their mark after driving eBay out of China after just a few years. Thus, this is how the journey of Alibaba began. Jack Ma is an extremely determined person. Despite being rejected and confronted with failure frequently, he never gave up. He also has a sense of humor. As the CEO, he still gets up and performs amazing shows by dressing up as Michael Jackson. He entertains his employees and shareholders during annual meetings and reduces the tension between him and his employees by creating a pleasant atmosphere during work. Therefore, Jack gained a loyal and hardworking group of executives, managers, and employees. So how does Jack Ma apply the situational leadership theory in his team? Back in 2003, when China was suffering from the SARS pandemic, Jack told his employees to operate from home in order to prevent them from contracting the disease. Behavior-wise, it can be said that he was not ready to put the lives of his employees in danger just for running his business profitably. While other businesses were suffering, Alibaba operated at ease and earned more money like normal days of business. This shows that Jack Ma is able to adapt to changes very well, and he is able to turn a bad situation into a good one, making him a prime example of a situational leader.